Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Robb here for Southwest Florida Television. Well, keeping my fingers crossed that I don't get rained on here. We're definitely going to see rain later in the day. Hopefully, it'll stay away from my beach walk. It's about 6:45, 73 degrees, going to get up to about 85 today. This is the south end of that beautiful mile-long beach, the Delnor-Wiggins State Park. Going to be cloudy all day today. That's all right. I'll take it. We're at the beach. We're together with our beach family. That's all that matters. That wind's coming out of the southwest right now. The surf is up. Water temperature is still around 86 degrees. The tide on its way in. High tide up at Wiggins Pass is around 9:05. You see the rain out there coming down. The little shafts of rain. A lot of erosion here. We have lost a lot of beach. Just over the past week, we've had that wind coming in out of the Gulf, pushing up a lot of seaweed on the beach as well. You can see a little bit of it here in the water. Not as much in the water as there was, what was it, Sunday when we were down at Vanderbilt Beach Park. Boy, it was a mess. Looks like we got a new nest over here. Our ringer's just measuring things out. That's going to be sea turtle nest number 29. They measure the distance from the water, how long the crawl was. That's pretty cool.
Morning.
Good morning. So they'll put the cage around the nest, put the stakes up. Those cages are to keep the predators out, raccoons, and other critters. That nest is going to be right up in there. Like I said, that should be nest number 29. So that's good news. Great way to start the day. Look at those dark clouds. Woo! Hey, Karen, good morning. A lot of rain right out there. Woo! That's a big storm. Those waves kicking up the serotonin. Everybody should be smiling out at the beach today with that extra serotonin in the air. Deborah, good morning. Good morning, Daryl. A lot of seagulls flying by this morning. heading down to the south. Parking lot 1. Over back behind the berm there. Remember, the park doesn't open until 8 o'clock. But you can get out here and walk on the beach at the Bluebill Beach access. Seagulls landing on the beach over here. Just stay out of the park, stay out along the shoreline if you take an early morning walk up to the Wiggins Pass like we're doing. Hit that share button. Everybody know I'm out here. It's awful quiet on Facebook this morning. Susan, good morning, Susan. Seaweed's all starting to dry out now. That actually doesn't smell so bad. A lot of times it just gets that really strong fishy smell, but not so bad. Not as bad as it could be. Let's put it that way. Coming up to the north end of parking lot 1. 4 parking lots open here in the park, 1 through 4. It's going to be a long time before number 5 reopens. If it ever reopens. More seagulls. The access path from the north end. Parking lot 1. And just a reminder, stay outside of the ropes here. Give our dunes a chance to regenerate and rebuild and re-nourish themselves. Those clouds gorgeous. Even though they're storm clouds, they are just beautiful. Wow. You know me and my clouds. Our skyscapes are just incredible here in Southwest Florida. Pretty soon we'll be seeing those early morning thunderstorms lighting up when I'm out here. Get some good lightning shows out there. Well, hopefully we'll have a couple new sea turtle nests here. We got one. We saw one already this morning down in Area 1, nest number 29. Hopefully there'll be another one here. Down by that water if it's not too steep of a drop off here. Not bad here. There goes the seagull coming in for a landing. Little snowy egret up here was in the seaweed, eating the little bugs that are in the seaweed. Heading down the beach. A lot of trash up on the beach, just washing in from out in the water. Sad. Plastic bottles. Those darn plastic bottles. Thanks for the stars. Lynn, good morning, dear. See the seaweed in the water. Watch as those waves curl. Gets that translucency and you can see right through the waves. I love standing here with the waves washing up on my toes. Can you feel it? It's like a foot massage. All right, I gotta keep moving along here. Keep my eyes peeled here for some turtle tracks up on the beach. I missed that one yesterday, number 28. Ooh, the sand's starting to get very soft along the water line here because it's all seaweed. It's just covered by this sand, so it's like walking on a big sponge. Little white ibis up ahead of us. Ibising along, doing its little white ibis thing. Where are you going? It's making it very difficult to follow it. I tried. I gave it a shot. It's going to go around me. Usually the birds will just walk right past me. I think we're going to luck out. I don't think we're going to get rained on here. Threatening, but I don't think it's going to happen. Pelican flying by out there. Great walk so far this morning, at least I think so. But I think every morning walking on the beach is great. Maybe I'm a little biased. Love the birds flying by this morning. Come on, let's go. Let's find nest number 30. Sea turtle nest number 30. Come on. Well, I gorilla glued my gimbal yesterday. Hopefully the glue will hold the epoxy. So now I can't close it. It's just locked in the open position. But it's better than having to buy a new gimbal. Rose, good morning. It's always nice seeing Rose on here. Rose and Daryl always saying good morning to everybody, welcoming everybody into our family. There's more seaweed than I thought out here in the water. But like I said earlier, it's not as bad as it was a few days ago. But it's definitely out there in the water. You can see it in the waves. These colors are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Over here to my right is nest number 2. It's usually around 55 days for a nest to hatch. So we got around a month, a little less than a month for this one. Numbers 1 and 2. Something interesting, they say the temperature of the sand determines the sex of the sea turtles. We have a very big area cordoned off here by nest number 22. I don't know if we had a leatherback come up here. I didn't see anything on the Friends of darn flies. You see them things are annoying. But I didn't see anything on Friends of Delnor-Wiggins Facebook. But that's a big area they got marked off there. You know, we definitely have that leatherback. We had that leatherback down at the beach in Pelican Bay down to the south of me. That's exciting. Normally we don't get those leatherbacks. We'll get greens and loggerheads and occasionally a Kemp's Ridley. Those are the rarest sea turtles. That is a big deal when the Kemp's comes. I think they actually dig those eggs up and put them in an incubator since that sea turtle is so rare. I don't want to take any chances with the storms destroying the nest. That is such a beautiful, beautiful sight there. The colors. So blue. So blue this morning. The storm clouds. They should be gray, but they're blue. The Wednesday morning blues. Jana, good morning. Just making my way up the beach at Delnor-Wiggins Pass State Park if you're just tuning in. My favorite beach in North Naples, Florida. I've spent a lot of my mornings here. And so have you, if you've been following along. So far, only one new sea turtle nest. I think I see a crawl up ahead of me. Let's see if it's a good one or it looks like maybe just a big giant U-turn. Let's see. Definitely some tracks, or is it the Ranger's vehicle? Oh, no, it was just the Ranger's tire tracks from their vehicle. From a distance, they can be deceiving. Well, we still got a little more beach to go. There's a possibility for another crawl. Never give up hope. I see some more sand all turned up. Is it more tire tracks or turtle tracks? It's up in Turtle Nest Alley here. We got a bunch of them in a row here. Say, if you enjoy my morning live feeds and the other little things that I share on Southwest Florida Television and my page, remember, I couldn't be out here doing this if it wasn't for you guys and your kindness, your generosity. Those Facebook stars, I get a penny for each star that you send. Tips, I do depend on tips to make ends meet, especially right now. Bills have piled up once again. So if you enjoy what you see and you want to help out, support my efforts, if you'd like to see them continue, look for that link to my PayPal account in the description of this post. You'll also find my Venmo account there. So there we go. That was a heavy turtle. That was a heavy turtle there. That's a deep set of tracks. That's her return tracks. Let me see. That is some deep tracks going up there. But unfortunately, nothing happened up here. Just a U-turn. Sad, sad. Just came up, hung a U-turn. Well, let's see if we find another. That is some deep, deep tracks. That was a heavy turtle. think a heavy loggerhead's around 400 pounds. That was a great crawl. She tried. She gave it her all. Now that could be the same turtle that laid eggs down at the south end of the beach. Remember that when we see a false crawl, it doesn't mean they just give up. Sometimes they'll make another try. It's beautiful. I want to get a little video of this. Just kind of a really good crawl, an impressive crawl. Hang tight for a minute. Sorry about that. I love our sea turtles. Don't forget when you visit the beach, you know the rules. Very, very simple rules. Looks like maybe another crawl just ahead of me. Fill in all your holes before leaving the beach. Level all your sandcastles. And pick up all your trash. You should do that all the time, but with our sea turtles nesting now, it's even more important. I thought that might have been a little sea turtle action there, but no. Come on, we need another nest. Vanderbilt Beach is, if they're not at 100, they're getting close to 100 on Vanderbilt Beach and Pelican Bay Beach. I haven't seen the turtle folks lately to chat with them. Yep, you are close at 71 degrees. We're just a couple degrees warmer. It looks like an old crawl up there. Almost looked like a nest. Looks like there was some digging going on up there, but hard to say. That's for the rangers to determine. They're the experts. I'm just the beach walker. So again, that tide is still going out. Or I'm sorry, coming in. I'm sorry, still coming in. Around 9 o'clock is high tide at Wiggins Pass. And that water temperature is 86 degrees, and the air temperature is around 73 right now, going to get up to around 85. We're going to see these partly cloudy skies, well, mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. And later, we should be seeing some rain here in North Naples. We're supposed to get the earlier rains to the north of us. In North Naples, maybe later today. But it did look kind of threatening earlier here. We lucked out. We got to get some beach time. Wow, 87 for a high, Beverly. That's nice. Yeah, rained all Sunday afternoon here, Daryl. Much needed rain. Got a lot a lot of rain in East Naples, 6.8 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain. We need a lot more than that, though. There's a crawl. Ooh, 2 crawls. It looks like 2 crawls. Let's see. Here's one here. Now, I don't know if this is a good one. Definitely she did some digging. Now, this is kind of cool. Now, look here. This could be a potential nest, and there could be one right there. Another crawl right over there. So they were just up here, probably having a little chit-chatting going on while they're laying their eggs. Catching up on old times. Hey, I hadn't seen you for years. How you doing? Remember, they come back to the same beach where they were born to nest. So that's a new one. And this is, let's see, is this a new one yet? Sometimes they look new, but they're not. So you look for signs like the tire tracks, if the crawl goes across the tire tracks, or if the tire tracks go across the crawl. See how the tire tracks stop right at the crawl? Because the rangers, after they check things out, they will drive back and forth over the tracks just so they don't get it mixed up the next morning. Could be. That looks like a small turtle. Could be a nest. Could be 2 nests right here. Wow. That's exciting. Very exciting. They were holding back on us, waiting for me to get up to the north end of the park here. By the way, we're up in Area 4. That was about the middle of parking lot 4, right there where those 2 crawls were. Area Roy over here. Right in between these trees right here. Right there. That was where he'd come out to the beach. Under the pine trees is where we'd all hang out. The north end of parking lot 4 there. Sad seeing everything gone. But a lot of wonderful memories here, so thank goodness we have those. You can find a lot of those memories on YouTube on my Southwest Florida Television's Facebook page. Facebook's taken down all live videos. They're only leaving them up for 30 days now. Remember that when you do a live feed on Facebook, it's only going to be there for 30 days. Apparently, Mark Zuckerberg can't afford the storage space anymore. Some wild looking clouds. I'm way up in the air here. Probably 6 feet above the water where I'm at right here. Very steep drop off right in here. There's a turtle that made it up here. Look at that. This is incredibly steep. But a sea turtle made an attempt and made it all the way up there. Whoa, I gotta slide down here without breaking my neck. Wow. That's pretty cool. All that work to get up there and then it didn't do anything. What a shame. Crooked palm tree. Yeah, Wiggins Pass is within reach now. Just ahead of us. Some pretty blue sky behind those clouds up there. Look at that. And some white clouds up there. Look at that. Nice. Well, yesterday morning, that was incredible, wasn't it? My first live feed yesterday morning. Go back and check out the replay of that. We saw a lot of sea stars in the water up at Wiggins Pass along the shore there. A lot of them. I didn't show you all of them, but what I shared was a lot. That was so cool seeing those sea stars. Pelican coming by. Heading down south. It's fun watching the pelicans dive into the water. Very shallow in here. That's why we have all the waves rolling over the sandbar. Take a deep breath. Soak up all that serotonin. There's plenty here to go around. I wish I could bottle it up. I wish I could send you some through my iPhone. Here comes the pelican back. They just cruise up and down the beach. Like our little white ibises parading up and down the shore, looking for a tasty treat. Sherry, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Kathleen, good morning. It's going to be my only live feed here this morning. I'm going to see if I can talk our friend Robert into going to the beach this evening for sunset if it's not raining. Boy, the shells are very spread out here this morning. The waves have kind of pulled them back into the water. Not as many as there were yesterday morning. There was a big old pile of shells up here the other morning. There's a beautiful little cockle shell down there, though. The cockle. Yeah, not very many shells along here this morning. There's a couple places behind me where there was more than this. That little cockle shell caught my eye. It was just very colorful. So this beach here at Delnor-Wiggins is only a mile long. If you're not doing a live feed, if you're just walking the beach, you know, it's a 15-minute walk up the beach to Wiggins Pass. If you park down the south end, it's not even a mile if you park in parking lot 1. If you don't want to do a lot of walking, you park at the north end of parking lot 4. Especially if you're a fisherman. This is the fishing area here. No swimming up here. Fishing only up by the pass. No fishing down south. So that's why having at least parking lot 4 is open is a little nicer for our fishermen. Nancy, good morning. Gorgeous cloud formations this morning. It's incredible. Oh, I bet you do, baby. Those cockles and those fighting conchs. Very common shells here in southwest Florida. The sandbars are just loaded with live ones at low tide. The cockles half buried in the sand, as well as the fighting conchs, the little Florida fighting conch shells. Hey, thank you for the stars. A little, it's going to go up on the beach. There was a little snowy egret. The waves got to be a little too much for it. Boy, more fresh erosion here. See this? There's waves just chipping away at the beach. A little snowy. That's what I took some photos of one little snowy egret that was kind of hanging out by me at Wiggins Pass yesterday morning. You scroll down on Facebook, you can find those photos. Well, here we are, my friends. Part of the namesake of the park, Wiggins Pass, named after old Joe Wiggins that used to actually live up here at the pass. Can you imagine living here? Wow. Back in the old days, the only bad thing would be all the no-see-ums and mosquitoes and other little critters. There used to be bobcats and panthers back in here. Way back. Bald eagles. Now we'll just see a bald eagle on occasion. I believe there was a bobcat back in the park. Oh, year and a half or so ago. I saw something dart across back in the woods. And then I was talking to our old park manager, and he said, yeah, we think we have a bobcat in here. I'm like, well, that's kind of what it looked like to me. How about that bear that went for a swim down at Park Shore 3-4 days ago? That was pretty wild. The bears are hot, trying to cool off. Bears, gators. Who knows what we're going to see at the beach? It's always a surprise, but it's always beautiful. And I get to bring you along for the journey. That's the best part right there, is I get to bring you along for the walk. All right, a couple more minutes here, and that's going to be it. Let's crank up that star machine, my friends. Last day of the month. That sun's gonna maybe make it up over the tops of these clouds for a little while here shortly. That'd be a nice little change. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Now this is something we don't see too often here. I'm glad I didn't kill the live feed. We got a sea turtle crawl here, and this was a whopper of a crawl. This is her. Looks like her return trips. Let me see here. This looks like her. Now, this doesn't always hold true. Sometimes, if you look, you see this little squiggly line between the flipper tracks. Sometimes that means she laid eggs. Sometimes it's her tail. Sometimes it's the little thing dragging on the ground that the eggs come out of. We'll see. But this is the return tracks. I want to see where she came out of the water at. It was a good crawl. Man, that is a good crawl. Normally, we don't see them in the past. Normally. I'm not saying we don't. Where did she come out? Yeah, she came into the pass here. That is... Ooh. Check this out. You know what this is? You know what those are down there? You see them? Those are the footprints from a great blue heron down there. Those are the footprints of a great blue heron. Early in the mornings you can see them sitting here along the shore. Very cool. Beautiful, majestic birds, big birds, the great blue herons. You have those up north on your lakes. Here's where that girl came out of the water. Now this is incredible. She actually came up into the pass. Crawled up here. Why? This is amazing. If there's a nest, I don't know. She did a lot. There's a lot of digging here, spray over here. If there's a nest, she even took out one of the stakes that they have over there to tell people to stay out. She took that down. If there's a nest, it's going to be up in here. That is so cool. Like I said, normally they're not here at the point. But why she went back the way she did? This is amazing. She took the long way back to the water. Look at this. This was a long crawl for a sea turtle. Zigging and zagging. Through some wet sand here. That is amazing. And then we lose the tracks because of the tide here. But that's where she went back in. Isn't that something? God and his amazing creatures. And guess what? We're all some of his creatures. Ha! Let's go check and see if there's any sea stars over here in the corner. Then I gotta wrap it up. There's that sun coming out to say good morning. We have seen some fun things this morning. I'll tell you what, it's nice having my eyeballs back. Sure wish we could get more people on here in the mornings with us. Sometimes it gets kind of frustrating. Put a lot of steps in the morning for these. Do a lot of walking. Hopefully it'll add a couple years to my life. There's Rose. Good morning again, Rose. Rose and Daryl are our official greeters. Sad. There's a shoe shell down there. An old shoe shell. Just washed up. Gross. See stars? Do we see stars? This is where they were all hanging out yesterday morning. Now I'm not seeing them. They were just piled up in this corner here yesterday morning. Where did all this? There's one. There's one. 2, 3. There's 3 of them. 9-armed sea stars. They're here. They didn't go anywhere. They're crawling back into deeper water. Couldn't have a morning without sea stars if we're at Wiggins Pass. That is so cool. See if we can find one in a little shallower water, get a little better look. Looks like they're making their way back out. Yeah, they're in deeper water, and the water's kind of churned up, kind of cloudy, but if you look close, you can see another down there. It's a good size one. The 9-armed sea star. Some manatee grass floating by, that white stuff. Sargassum seaweed over there. Come on. Remember, we don't touch the sea stars. Keep our hands off them. The only time you want to touch one is if. You don't have to. They can make their way back to the water. If you see one looks like it's kind of stranded on the beach, if you want to help it, pick it up gently. Don't kind of hold it flat in your hand. Don't be carrying it by an arm. The arm could easily break off. And then take it out and just kind of sit it out in the water. If you're out along the shore of the beach line there, here it's kind of calm. But if there's a lot of waves, try to get it past the break line where all the waves are breaking. Yeah, not as many down here this morning. Oh well. Well, we've almost walked the entire length of the beach here at Delnor-Wiggins. I didn't start quite at the very south end, a little shy, but I did start south of parking lot 1. So it's been a beautiful walk. Beautiful look at this beach. Some shells hanging on one of our prayer trees here. I'm glad I could bring you along. Always happy to take you along for the journey. Do me a favor and share away anything that I post that you like. Besides liking, give it a share. Tell your friends about Southwest Florida Television. We got plenty of room in our beach family for more members. Another little 9-armer. Cool, cool. Be careful if you're walking up here, you don't step on them. A lot of glare when you're looking into that sun. Ooh, little snowy egret standing on a tree branch up here. waiting for breakfast to come by. It's gonna get it. See something. Isn't that beautiful? What a way to end our walk, huh? Well, I haven't seen any little fish swimming along here. Probably not the best spot for breakfast. All right, I gotta get rolling along. I gotta get moving along, my friends. But it has been fun. It's been beautiful. See, I got a few stars. Thank you. I wish we saw some dolphins and manatees, but can't see it all. It is what it is. What we saw was beautiful. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for allowing me into your lives. Onto your screens. There's something in the water right up here in front of me, I think. Coming towards me, maybe. Maybe, just seaweed. Anyway, again, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for being a friend. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay strong. Tally ho, everyone. Oh, a manatee. A manatee came up just right over there. Just next to that piling. Just stuck its nose up. I thought I saw something. Wow. So cool. God is good. Hey, for Southwest Florida Television, I'm Robb Stan. May God bless you, your family, your friends, your fur babies, everything and everyone in your lives. And God bless our wonderful, beautiful, and amazing country. The place that I so proudly call my home. God bless America. One nation under God. Keep her in your prayers. Tally ho. Tally ho.